What was the question? I'm so sorry.
We were talking about all the trauma you caused me.
Wow. Okay.
Like in my mind right now, I really do feel like I could ring off a quick 10 things that Marissa hates about me kind of thing. But I don't, if I'm being honest, I don't know that it would be as quick me running off 10 things that Marissa absolutely loves. I wanna make you mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. Make you mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. Make you mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. Make you mine. I wanna make you mine. Put that shit in.
What's up, y'all? This is Marissa Starks, and I'm here with my lovely husband,
Sergey the DJ. What's good? What's popping? What's good in the hood?
and we are back again with another video.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound like every other YouTube person that I see, but it's been a long time since we've recorded our last video. Life. It's 2020, okay? I mean, I feel like that's all I should have to say.
I will not apologize for it.
I mean,
we've been gone.
We here.
Shout out to my baby girl, Baby Turtle, who is our audience member right now. She's sitting in her walker on the outside, and she can't get in here because I put a piece of PVC pipe in front of the doors, so she can't actually just barge in here and run over everything in her walker.
But she really, really wants to be in here.
She wants to be in here so bad she's yelling at us. But luckily for me, I put a little limiter or a little noise gate on this microphone.
All right, so
the title of this episode is called Js Marital Trauma. Most people who are watching may have picked it up that I'm married again for the second time. So I'm not going to give that whole thing away because I'm going to begin writing a book, hopefully.
Come on now.
Yeah, I guess I kind of threw that out. It'll be somewhat of a tell-all, but I think it's a really good story. Not just a really good story. I think there's a really powerful message to come behind it too. I'm not going to get a title away just yet. But anyway, all of that will kind of be explained there, and then I'll probably do some videos then talking about my previous marriage, but and how it was, how it came to end, and what I took from it, blah, blah, blah. But today's episode, Marital Trauma, has a lot more to do with some of the traumatic experiences I feel like I've had in our marriage that early on in our marriage, and we've only been married.
Hasn't been 2 years.
Yeah, it hasn't been 2 years. Yeah, it'd be 2 years in June. Mm-hmm. And so, but there was still some things in the very beginning that I think kind of created a heightened level of PTSD, and that kind of comes out now. So in the beginning of our marriage, how would you describe my behavior towards you?
In the beginning of our marriage, specifically,
I take that back. Scratch dating. When we started dating, in the beginning of our relationship.
Your behavior towards me?
Yeah, shout out to me for not being ashy for this episode, because I really expected that. I just put on pants. I don't put on lotion. Go ahead, though.
Your knee look good, babe. Your knee
Appreciate
look good. I would say that when we first started dating, you were kind of in this state of, it literally felt like I could do no wrong with you. Like you were just, you seemed like really fascinated, I guess, or captivated by me. Mm-hmm. And you were definitely in the mode of impressing me all the time, or trying to impress me, in whatever way you could. Like you didn't give me the red carpet, if you will, but I think that was just your overall state of mind. Like, I'm gonna show her that. Your phrase was, "I'm not."
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
and that was your whole motto.
Yeah,
for a long time.
Nah, that's facts. I did not expect you to answer that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but maybe it's because I've told you. I don't know, but you're right. So in the beginning of our relationship, just a slight bit of backstory. Marissa and I knew each other way prior to us actually becoming a thing, but we knew each other kind of not necessarily in passing, just close enough, kind of like cool associates, but not like good friends kind of thing. Yeah. But we knew enough about each other. Mm-hmm. And so when we got together, I I was very much aware of at least one person that she had been with before prior to me. And then aware of, because of our friendship, some of the like circumstances dating wise and all of that stuff that you had been through.
Yeah.
So like, I definitely in the beginning of our relationship was like, I'm going to show her that I'm not anything that she's ever dealt with before. Like this is the one. You found all the chick flicks. That's like, I found my, what was that we were watching yesterday? Jumping the Broom, Paula Patton. She's like, God, if you send him, I promise I'll hold the cookie until, you know what I mean? Like, I'm him. You know what I'm saying? Hold the cookie for this guy. But I knew that I had that opportunity, or at least I felt like I had that opportunity to not just like so much impress you, like, oh, look at my stuff and all of that, look what I can do, but like really be that for you. And I never thought I was going to ever get married or ever consider a woman seriously anyway. So when, the Lord brought you to my attention, I went really, really hard because I felt that this was an opportunity for me to love for real, you know what I mean? Based on what I had learned, and to give it to somebody that I knew, that I felt deserved it, to be honest. Now, in all of that, in kind of going hard to give all of myself and more, I did a lot of things that were stupid, but I did a lot of things that were like stupid for the sake of communicating to Marissa, who hasn't experienced something like this before, a serious relationship where someone is committed to her for all the right reasons, you know what I mean? Like, or at least in the correct fashion in terms of like, I don't know, courtship, you know what I mean? But like truly dating you, truly seeking a God-honoring relationship that is leaning towards marriage, right? So I'm doing all of this stuff, and it seems like more and more I'm just getting like slapped for it. So like, I remember pretty much I felt like I was exposing myself in all these different ways and being like vulnerable, not just like emotionally, but like financially even being vulnerable. But more so just like exposing who I am as a person, the things that I enjoy, hoping that you would like receive me and all that came with me. Because I knew it was already a big deal, the fact that I'd been divorced. But I figured, shoot, if she can, she can deal with the fact that I like to smoke cigars or pipes on occasion, you know what I mean? Or she can deal with the fact that I plan to get tatted, like dumb tatted, you know what I mean? Or whatever. But like in the beginning of our relationship, all of those things became very big issues.
I was a particular kind of woman,
Explain was. What do you mean by was a particular woman?
Well, I'm saying was because that was then, and I'm married now. So. But what I mean by that is, in a nutshell, like I had certain standards. I will admit though that in hindsight, I think some were should have been brought down a little bit more. They didn't hold as much weight as I thought they did at the time. But when it came to things like, you wanting to get tatted, I think you said you wanted another arm sleeve.
No, I want to do my leg. I want a sock.
Okay, you wanted your leg sleeve. Do you want it like
I did my left arm. I was going to do
honestly,
my left leg.
Really was like the neck tattoo. When you got to like, when you said you wanted a neck tattoo, I was like,
it's going to get MOB across it. Now I'm playing.
I don't know. To me, that just screamed like ratchet, ghetto. And I don't want to represent that.
This girl found the noisiest toy to park right in front of the studio door. And jingle these. This is my child.
Y'all gonna hear me
for sure. This is my child. I'm not terribly sorry at all for anybody on YouTube or Facebook who can hear my child. So she's funny. Gorgeous, so she can make as much noise as she wants, and Daddy will fight anybody who says something.
Period.
Anyway,
what was the question? I'm so sorry.
We were talking about all the trauma you caused me.
Wow. Okay. Get on my
No, but
nerves.
not seriously. So like, in the beginning of our relationship, it felt like they just came to be every day, or at least like 2 or 3 times a week, like something about me that I was trying to like fully expose and just kind of be upfront about or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it didn't just turn into like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that you want a motorcycle, Sergey, or I don't like that you smoke on occasion, or vape. I had a vape. That's what it was.
Yes.
Because I didn't even
you
smoke a lot.
a lot.
Yeah. Right. But it was like,
I forgot about
it wasn't
that.
just like, yeah, I don't like it. It was like, I don't want to be with somebody that's like that. And so I heard two things. I heard 2 things that were like devastating. 3. One, I exposed myself to somebody in like the truest form, realest form that I could, expecting, maybe foolishly, but expecting her to receive it because it's better than what she had experienced before. But I'm exposing myself to somebody and they deny it, or kind of turn it down, or reject it. That's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt rejected for being honest and open about who I was, number 1. Number 2, you said, I don't want to be with somebody like that. So I heard, I'm something like that, or like I'm bad. The things that I like to do, take smoking or tattoos, made me a somebody like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was categorized as something bad. So I heard that. And then more importantly than the first 2, like I heard you didn't want to be with me, you know what I mean? Which was like, dang, because another little more backstory. I prayed, I fasted, I spent a very long time, like really, really seeking the Lord for you. Not like on some player type, it really wasn't like I'm trying to impress you and do all these things and send you flowers every day and send you chocolates. Sending flowers was a part, I guess, of the whole thing. But like, and y'all can go back to previous episodes about how we met and that'll explain that. But like I really felt like our relationship was one that was birthed out of a genuine like conversation with the Lord, a genuine request and answer of and from the Lord. And here it was. I don't want to be with somebody like that. I don't want to be, problem 1. Somebody like that, problem 2. And me exposing myself and being rejected for it was problem 3. And it caused all this trauma. And now I see a therapist. And now I'm playing. Go ahead.
What? Oh my gosh. One thing that I was gonna say is that I think one, I definitely didn't want you to feel that way. That was not my intent. I think if anything, my intention was, and not to say that this was right, but I think my intention was, hey, here's a list of things that I don't like, but I love you though, and I want to marry you, but can you like change this up a little bit?
I really wish you had said it that way.
Yeah, that was my intent. And again, I don't think that was right entirely. And I also don't think that the way I executed in expressing that was right either. And I was telling you this earlier, but I think looking back in hindsight, I don't think I did any of that in a way that was loving and accepting and understanding. Like I think I was very immature in that regard because I could have just said, "Hey, I don't like these things and I don't want to be with you." I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
But by me saying the things that I said, or like constantly telling you, "Hey, I don't want to be with this type of person," and that type of person was essentially like you, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm closing that with, "But I want to be with you." I can see how that created some type of confusion for you, and honestly, for me. But in a nutshell, I think I definitely could have communicated that better, and communicated it being not, it wasn't so much that these were non-negotiables. I think that's where it was confusing too, because I kept having to ask myself, are these non-negotiables? Are these non-negotiables?
Can I pause right there, or can I interject right there?
Wait, can I finish
Go
real
ahead.
quick? I kept having to ask myself, are these non-negotiables? Would you still want to be with him if he did these things?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, the question or the answer to that for me was yes, but it's gonna suck. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, except for, I don't know. I felt like on most of those things, I felt like there needed to be some kind of compromise, like with the smoking.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a huge deal for me for several reasons. Like I don't smoke. I never liked smoking. I never liked seeing people smoke.
And this is not weed, by the way, folks. I don't know. I
Well,
just
yeah,
felt the need
he wasn't smoking weed. He vaped. We
marijuana.
already said you vape. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
people
people vape
yeah,
weed now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even nicotine, actually.
I thought you had like a little nicotine in it.
Maybe like at the very beginning of our relationship, but for the most of it, I found a place that didn't put nicotine in it. It was just juice, flavored
I
juice.
remember eventually it went to that. But anyway, I felt like at the very least we were going to have to compromise on some things, especially things like that. Like I knew that I wanted to have kids, and I didn't want my kids to grow up seeing their dad or their mom smoking. And so I knew that that was a big no for me. Like that was a non-negotiable for me. And so if you were willing to compromise in that regard, then, we could have gone forward with that. But I just don't.
Was I.
I just don't. What?
I was willing to compromise.
Oh, yeah, you were willing to compromise. But that took like several conversations to get to that point. And I think that had a lot to do with just me not being mature and how to execute those conversations in a way that was loving, but still expressed how I felt. And also just not fully understanding what it was that I wanted entirely. And just being in this like, I don't know. This kind of caught me off guard here. You were great. And then something else just kind of came up. And I will
something
say,
else came up.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. And to be quite frank, I also think that my prayer life, my relationship with the Lord wasn't as solid and as consistent, and I do believe that that time would have been a lot more seamless. I think if I had prayed more
during our dating,
during the dating and just engagement, I think if I would have been more prayerful of how to go about these things, honestly, just at the very least, like bring it up to God more often, I think he would have helped me a lot better in that process, so that I wouldn't have affected you in the way that I did.
Yeah, I definitely could see where the Spirit is speaking in terms of you being considerate of me. I definitely see where he likely would have revealed more, like, even if you do feel a particular way about the things that he does or doesn't do, there's a way to go about communicating it in love. That wouldn't necessarily crush him and cause him to need counseling and be scarred in his. No,
he keeps saying all this stuff.
That's not a subliminal.
Is that how you really feel?
I do think I need counseling. We need counseling. But
okay.
that's
I
another
thought you were going to
conversation.
say something else crazy. Not crazy. I'm sorry.
But you said something else earlier that I want to respond to, but I forgot what it was. I will ask this though: how do you feel it? How do you feel as quickly as you can answer? You finna grab her?
Yeah.
Girl, you gonna make you another episode? Look at you. This child was much smaller last time she was on here, which is why we haven't been on here.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Oh, this perfect. She's like perfectly cut out of Facebook too. You know, I don't like her being on Facebook. Oh, she gonna mess that mic up though.
It's all right.
You want to say something?
I don't know.
That's
This
not gonna work.
Hey.
Girl, you stink. It's time for another diaper.
Hi, big
girl. Yeah. Ma'am, that's mine. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So, I feel like right now, one of the effects in our marriage is like it complicates so many parts of like our just regular like everyday being. Because that's the whole point of the phrase trauma. Like I am kind of serious about that actually. Like it sounds funny, but I do see it as kind of traumatic. Like there are so many things that I felt you drastically responded to that make me feel like, oh, this will be really bad if I went and got another tattoo, it would be really. You asked me not too long ago why I don't buy things for myself. And then before you've also asked me, you asked me something to the effect of like why you don't do things for yourself or do things.
Treat yourself.
Treat
I was
yourself,
asking you, what do you like to do to treat yourself? And you really struggled in answering that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's what it was. You asked me where do I find peace? And and you also asked me why don't I buy myself things or what do I do to treat myself? And like I really struggle with that because I felt like anything I say that is true may actually be a problem for Marissa. Like may actually make her feel like, oh, I hate that about you. Like I like to go get a tattoo. I like tattoos. I like the process of tattoos. Like talking to my artist. Shouts out to Tristan Bradshaw at Aces Tattoos and Denton. Like I like sitting and talking and chopping it up with him as he does some good work. You know, I like to have a cigar or a bowl on a pipe and just, I don't know, read or do nothing, just sit and watch birds. Like I like to do that. Or I don't know, just whatever I like to do. I felt like it would be I can hear your voice in my head. I don't want to be with somebody that's like that because I don't want my child to grow up seeing her father have an occasional cigar or whatever. Or I don't know if in your mind that translated to me becoming a whole dope fiend. But I really don't know. And I'm not being funny. I mean, seriously, I don't know if that's what was going on in your mind. And I've considered that since then. But for me, like, I struggle being me now because I feel like me becomes
presently.
Yeah, because me can become an issue for Marissa. Because remember, I don't want to be married to somebody like that. And I fear being the like that. If that makes sense. Really?
So who? If we weren't married, what would be different for you?
Like if we weren't married and still together, or if we just weren't together at all?
If we just weren't together at all. Like what would change about you?
From how I am now?
Yeah.
I mean, I would walk in a lot more of the, I guess, like freedoms and liberties that I have. We recently had a conversation where I just kind of like laid out like, look, I'm kind of off the whole, not holding off from, you know, smoking because, you know, I think we agreed to me only smoking. Well, we didn't agree. I told you I would only smoke once a quarter. And you were like, I don't like it, but I can handle it or something like that. And I got to a point to where I just felt like, man, I'm a grown man. I don't want to answer for, especially since I don't have a habit and it's, you know, I don't want to answer for, I'm going to smoke. And I remember having a conversation and you were kind of like, well, I don't know. I don't have anything to say to that kind of thing. Right. I would live a lot like that. You know, I wouldn't have to ask or be considerate of someone else when I want to get a tattoo. I'd be way more tatted right now, especially if I wasn't married because all my check money is coming to me.
If I said, hey, you can smoke however much you want, You can get however many tats you want, wherever you want on your body. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna make sure she doesn't eat that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not going to give off any emotion. I'm just gonna let you do you. And I say that because you have expressed to me that you have trauma based on these things that I shared about smoking and tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I say, hey, do what you want. Would that change anything?
Rather I do it or not, probably, but rather I feel the, I guess, kind of trauma of like, oh, it's going to cause problems at home. No, I would still feel like, oh God.
So what would change it? What would be the change, or what would make the change?
What would it take from you?
Sorry, yeah. What would it take, just in general? Because I mean, honestly, I don't know what else to do beyond that.
I would want to know that it doesn't affect you.
I just said that.
Well, you said you weren't going to say anything. You didn't say it wasn't going to affect you. Or did you? Maybe I missed that part. But I was fiddling around with Turtle.
Regardless of if it affects me or not.
That's important to me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I can do certain things that I don't think you like care here, that you care more or less about. And feel fine because I know you don't really care about that. You know what I mean? For example, I don't have a good example. Anyway, but if I feel like, oh, she's not going to nag me, she's not going to yell at me or whatever, but she is going to be sad, or she is going to wonder this about me in her mind. Is he going to be a dope fiend because he keeps smoking these cigars? I don't think you're going to think that, but I'm just saying. Or
will you feel that way if I just simply don't like something?
Yeah, if you've expressed to me like, oh, I don't like this thing and I don't like that you do it, then, I would, it'd be very difficult for me as a person who loves you to be like, oh, well, I'm going to do it anyway, deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you did that to me, like, I know I'd be thinking something. I might not say nothing to you or whatever, but I'd be thinking. And I wouldn't want you thinking anything except for I'm that when you think about me. That's all I want. Mm-hmm. Sergey is the man. That's what I want you to think.
Okay.
If I'm being honest. Uh-oh. Right, Daddy.
So the only way to solve this problem is for me to basically like and embrace the idea of you getting more tattoos and
it's not specific
smoking.
to tattoos and smoking.
Well, we've just been talking about that this entire time, so I'm just sticking with that.
Yeah.
But basically, like all the things that you like, and not like
No.
So what is it then? Because it's like,
it's not that you don't
it
like
almost almost sounds like. In my mind, I'm trying to think of solutions, right? And so it sounds like you basically want me to like all the things that you like. And if I don't like all these things, then you're going to forever have an issue and or trauma, if you will, and that kind of thing. Because I asked, and that's why I asked, okay, if I just say, hey, do whatever you want to do, basically, you won't hear a word from me. Mm-hmm. Will that change anything? And you still said no. I said, okay, well, what would change things? You say, basically, I want you to not have an issue with it. I want you to not, I want you to like it, basically.
Concussion.
Po child. So that's what I'm hearing. Like, it sounds like, no, I think okay, you basically want me to like what you like. And if I don't, then it's going to be an issue.
No, the whole conversation is based on you in the beginning. That's why, the whole trauma idea is you in the beginning stating, I don't want to be with someone who does that or who is like that. And so the big three things that I brought up is your reception to me doesn't necessarily have to be you agreeing with what I do. You can just say, okay, well, can I be honest? When I see someone carrying a gun, I'm from California, it makes me feel a particular way. And we can engage in that conversation, right? Like I can explain to you, hey, I'm from Texas. I've carried a gun for nearly a decade. You know what I mean? And you can explain to me that, hey, I'm from Oakland, and every time I seen somebody with a gun, it has been trouble. You know what I'm saying? But we can work through that, and I'm understanding of it, and I can go, all right, well, cool. You know, she don't need to see that I have the gun. You know, if you feel a way about me having guns in the house or something like that, then, you know, we can try to come to a compromise. I've always been of the mindset that there are going to be guns in my house. But, you know, we can work through that in a way that doesn't suggest that I am a bad person because I like guns, or you don't like somebody that's like, you know. So in terms of the solution, when you say, if I just said, okay, you can do all these things, it does not negate the fact that I've felt a particular way about myself or I felt that you feel a particular way about me. And so there's that. And then in terms of the initial sting of feeling like you have categorized me as a like that, you know, is another thing.
So you hear, or you, at the time when I said those things when we were dating and engaged, you heard me attack your character,
very much
more or less the thing.
Yeah, which really hurt because, again, I'm trying to be that. Like, I've literally several times, and it's bad too because of my divorce and feeling like I learned so much from that situation on how to be a better person for you. You know, I'm focusing heavily on being not just presenting to you or, you know, trying to perform, but like being the best man that I can be. It's so much so that I'm willing to like sacrifice some of these things that are, you know, minor or whatever. And so for me to feel like I'm showing you that, and you're still saying somebody like that, I don't want to be with somebody like that, made me feel expendable, made me feel like I was just another person that you know, like it wasn't a serious relation. I was one of the other dudes, you know what I mean? Because I would expect you to say something like that about one of them, not me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like since we've been married, there has been progress in that regard, or you feel like exactly the same? Triggered and traumatized?
I feel more so traumatized than triggered. I think triggered was in the beginning where it all happened, and I was like, oh. And that now I've just been in this consistent system of trying to play it cool, try not to, you know, ruffle any feathers, try not to, you know. So when we went to the mall and we're at H&M, I'm looking at a shirt or whatever. I think I told you about that, but you were like, look, I got you, boo, $100. You can get whatever you want from H&M. And I'm like, I had to process in my mind, Marissa has expressed to me that she hates the fact that all I wear is the color black, that my entire closet is the color black.
Never said I hate it.
I mean, but so in my mind, when I can compile so many things that like, oh, Marissa doesn't like this, or she doesn't want to be with somebody like this, or she doesn't like this about me or whatever, everything starts to just feel that way. And that's not right. That is not right. I shouldn't just see your every complaint as like she's nagging me and she hates me for this thing, because that's not fair. A lot of the things that you expressed to me are things that I should be working on. My mom, for an example. And just how I can be mean-spirited sometimes, right? But anyway, we're in H&M and you go, $100, boo, I got you. I have to quickly process through, oh, do I buy black stuff or do I not? Because, you know, we just got into it not too long ago about family pictures in California. I refuse to wear a color to support the swatch theme or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to be in black, and that was an issue. And so I'm like, do I want to rehash that right now in the middle of H&M if I buy 3 articles of clothing and all of them are black? And it's like, oh, you didn't want to pick no other color? You know what I mean? Because that's all it would take at this point. Because again, I feel like, are you growling? Ooh. I feel like that's the kind of trauma side of it because of what the triggers before. It's like, man, if I if I buy a black shirt in front of her and she's here, like I might have to hear about it, and that's gonna change the momentum of the night.
Yeah, babe. I don't know. I definitely hear you. I have heard you. And I feel like I've been trying to improve on some of those things. So when you smoke, I don't say anything. I don't show any emotion really. I sit outside with you sometimes while you smoke and just talk.
And I have seen that on the subject of smoking, especially. But there's
So
no but. I have seen that.
Do you feel like that's like helped at all?
Yeah, I mean it's
because
she biting you.
Girl,
snap a turtle. You say good night to the camera. You say good night to the camera.
Come on. Okay, I forgot where we left off.
Basically,
we need to go to counseling.
In so many ways, this is like therapeutic for us.
Yeah, it is. I feel like offline we've been having some really good conversations too.
Sorry, I want to make sure this is picking you up. Go ahead.
I was gonna say offline. I feel like we've been having some really good conversations too. And
I agree.
It's been helpful, but I think when the camera is on, I feel like we put in more effort to not be as defensive and like really listen to each other.
Yeah.
Or is it just me?
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
But I like that. I wish some of our candid conversation could be on camera and we had more people who we could trust kind of be in the comments like, yo, bro, you should consider this and that, But I don't know. Maybe that'll come. Maybe that's, on YouTube. That's the comment section on YouTube.
Yeah.
Probably not. It'd be like, bro, she fine, bro. Or if he don't want you, if he ain't being good enough for you, if he's smoking, I'll give it all up for you, shawty.
Okay.
Drop that 0. Get with the hero.
Oh my God. Well, I do want to ask you this though, babe. Come here.
That's not. I'm gonna get some booty tonight, Rub.
I'm full.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just playing. What was I gonna say? On a serious note though, is there anything that I could or should be doing to help, heal that particular area in terms of your trauma towards some of the concerns that I expressed early on in our marriage? Yeah.
Yeah. I think one thing that I've seen your growth in is like being complimentary, and I might have not expressed this in the best of ways before. I'm not the type of person that responds well to compliments because I didn't receive a lot when I was a kid, like from my family and stuff like that.
You don't. You'd be like,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. but I do think maybe just some recognition. And maybe, it might have to be OD. I mean, not obvious OD. Like,
okay, I see you.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But
you looking good.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna do that.
Knowing that there are things that knowing that there are things that I feel like, or feeling like there are things about me that you hate, whether it's things I do, things I like, things I consider, or thoughts that I have, or whatever. Or my just general lifestyle when it comes to wearing all black or whatever, it would help to have a lot more assurances or just like words of affirmation from you to combat all the what I feel has been like negative critique from you. You know what I mean? So like in my mind right now, I really do feel like I could ring off a quick like 10 things that Marissa hates about me. kind of thing. But I don't, if I'm being honest, I don't know that it would be as quick me running off 10 things that Marissa absolutely loves. And it's not something about me. And it's not something that, I would necessarily want to hear you say all the time. It would be great to feel like you love those things about me.
Okay, so
case in point, when you come with me to shows, I always feel a sense of validation that I cannot get from anyone else. The client that's paying me $2,000, the audience member who keeps coming by and saying, "Hey, you killing it." Nobody can come close to the validation of just you being there and being behind the DJ booth dancing with me. That makes me feel like she's involved in what I'm doing. She likes what I'm doing because she's dancing. You know what I mean? And a go boo here or there, whatever, definitely is a battery in my back, And that's just one thing, right? But DJing is an area where I'm not so sure you hate that I do that. I don't feel like you hate that I DJ, but I don't know that you love that I do it either. I get the sense that maybe you're just kind of from afar looking to see if it's something I'm going to actually be successful and provide for our family with full time or not. I don't know if that's what you're doing. I'm not saying that's what you are. Just kind of how it feels. But that's one area where like there's some space for you to really come in and be like a really big, loud, encouraging, just kind of like loving voice. That's one area where I feel like you can demonstrate like I love this about you, what you do. You know what I mean? Rather it's I love how you mix this, or I love how you go about your business, your consultations, or I learned from this or whatever. But just I would, to answer your question shortly, stacking up that list or helping to stack up that list of things that making me feel like there are more things that you love about me than things that you hate about me or wish you could change about me, kind of thing. I think will help with that trauma. Because then I don't think I would walk around as much, or when I'm here at home, or even when I'm out, I don't think I would worry as much and have as much trauma regarding what you're going to feel about me or about something that I do or like. Type of movies I like, the outfits I like, the music I like.
Yeah, that I think one of the biggest or most memorable pieces of advice that I got before getting married was from my auntie. And she said that no matter what, you make sure you are always his number one cheerleader. So when he mow that lawn, you better compliment the mess out of that. Oh, look at that line. It looks so good. I love the way you edged it like that. And he's been doing it for 20 years. You still got to be like, it looks so good.
I know exactly what auntie this is.
When he cleaned out the pool, it was only but 3 leaves in there. And he got them 3 leaves. Oh, you took out all them leaves? And I thought it was funny when she said it to me. And I kind of thought she was being a little bit dramatic just to be funny. But the longer I'm married, the more I recognize that she was like absolutely serious. And it sounded
it would help
silly.
drown out me feeling that you hate me, or you hate things about me, rather.
Babe, I don't hate you. And
No,
I don't hate
know.
like
That's why I just
things.
corrected that.
No, and I don't hate the things that you do. I'm just not like super fond of them. But I think, I think that piece of advice has always resonated with me.
Yeah.
And I'm recognizing that more and more. It's very vital, because I think that even the littlest complaint or distaste towards something, to me, it always seems to weigh more heavy than all of the other things that I love about you. I remember we were having a conversation. I think it tied to what we're talking about now, but I I think I had asked you what were some things that you think that I love about you. And you listed off like a few things, but it was all related to things that you do and not, it literally was not one thing about who you were.
Mm.
And I don't know if you remember this, but I told you that if you can't even give me one thing that you know that I love about you, then something is wrong. And so I listed off a slew of things that I just love specifically about you. And I told you that at the end of this conversation, if you don't hear anything or remember anything else, just remember those things. And do you remember any of them?
No, but that goes to what I was saying earlier. Like it's one thing to like tell me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess I'm pausing because I have to tell you, in order to express my love for your DJing, I kind of have to like express those things
No,
with words. Cause you just said, you hearing me say, I love that mix that you did. I love that the consultation that you had, me commenting on things. Like they're all
no. The main
around
example,
words.
the main example I was giving was you being there at a show with me, dancing, like saying all the other stuff. Like you saying things is cool. But even like you being like a go boo, or one time when I first got this Serato board right here, and you came in, you were cooking, you just dropped in, it was like, it sounds so much better.
I'm gonna work on loving you in that way. I think I have a good understanding of how you need to be loved.
What do you remember the big three things I said kind of caused the trauma?
The big three things. I thought it was just like one.
Remember in the beginning I was saying the things that you were expressing, you don't want to be with somebody like that.
Oh, like the smoking, that?
Yeah, but not the actual things you were talking about, but I was just saying, like, when you said I don't want to be with somebody like that, I heard I don't want to be with you. You're like that, which made me feel bad. And then
Oh.
I forgot the third one. That's why I asked you if you remember the third.
Oh, goodness.
Well, hey, at the very least, I got to say it. We got it on tape. So,
yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, to end this, we, of course, would like to ask our audience a question based on the topic that we talked about. And my question is, one, what is your love language? And if you are in a relationship, whether you're married, engaged, dating, do you find yourself loving the person in the way that you like to be loved? Or have you figured out a way to love the person based on how they want to be loved? And if so, let your girl know. Okay? It'll be really helpful.
Yeah. Let us know how much Giving Buddy was a part of that.
If you're married. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're married.
Yeah, I guess we got to say that. All right. Anything else you'd like to share? All hearts and minds clear?
No, I still got some questions after this, actually. Okay. But
all right. But I'm still getting booty tonight.
Yeah.
Word. Ask away.
Can you cut that out? Nobody needs to be doing all that.
Yeah, we married. People know we get busy. We live too. Folks know what's up. I ain't going to vivid detail of what I do with it once you throw it, how I catch it.
Sergey.
I just said.
All right, I'm done. I'm off it. It's too much.
Hey. People know what's up. All right. We are out. My name is Sergey the DJ. This is the lovely, beautiful
Marissa.
Y'all be cool. We are the production couple.
Peace out.
Peace.